Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar called AgrifoodTEF, how a 60 million project can help European Digital Innovation Hubs, EDIHs, to support small and medium enterprises. This is the session 1 of the Train the Trainer webinar course. We are organizing other sessions this year, along this year as well. So today is the Friday, 17th January 2025, and this webinar will take only 1 hour, which means by 12 we will be finished. I'm Gori Sahanyan, senior scientist from Wageningen University and Research, specialized in socioeconomic impact of digitalization, including business model innovation at ecosystem level. Today, I will be your moderator. For today's training webinar, we have several aims. First, to provide a detailed description of the AgrifoodTEF project, then provide a wide range of services for testing and validation. This session aims also to grow and develop the network. Finally, and probably most importantly, to explore collaboration potential between AgrifoodTEF and the EDIHs. So for agenda, today we have an engaging agenda and engaging speakers. Shortly after this introduction, Rafael Bini, who represents EDIH Data Life, will speak about understanding the ecosystem. He will be followed by Stina Jonsson from Research Institute of Sweden. Stina will provide details on the TEF concept. The next we will have Marie Wenzelf from Josephinum Research Austria. She will enlighten us about AgrifoodTEF services and showcase the service catalog. And following, Liam van Langehoeve from Belgium will present customer journey service request from customer journey from service request to customer feedback. The final speaker is Alia Louise Scoville from Denmark. She will explain how one can engage in AgrifoodTEF. The lined-up presentation might sound a bit long, but be assured the session is thoughtfully designed to keep things engaging and ensure we never get bored. Then we will have the most engaging moment of the webinar, that is question and answers. In this session, feel free to ask questions, but meantime, if you have questions during the presentation, please post it in the chat and we will make sure we respond to them during Q&A. So in terms of today's audience, we have made a quick summary of registration. We have 70 people registered from 24 countries. Welcome all. To make sure that you know, we record the webinar and the recording will be available on our YouTube channel. And but with this, I want to thank for your registration and for your presence. We hope for a useful and educative webinar and hope for an intensive follow-up after this session. And so with this foundation now laid, let's move to our presentations. And Rafael, please, the floor is yours. Please explain us the ecosystem.
Thank you, Gor. Good morning, everybody. I am Rafael Bini from Data Life, an EDIH located in Spain. I'm going to give you some insights to understand the ecosystem where AgrifoodTEF project raised in. From the very beginning, it's important to have a complete picture of the global food scenarios to fully understand the reason that pushed the European community to finance a project like AgrifoodTEF. The global food system today is under pressure for 3 main reasons: population growth that increases the food demand, limited agricultural capacity due to network constraints, and unsustainable consumption caused mostly by the unreasonable diet habits of the rich countries. Next slide, please. These 3 trends generate, let me say, a loop of negative impacts. First, the food insecurity that leads to exploiting more and more lands to increase the production. At the same time, this overexploitation causes the degradation of the lands and the intensive agriculture operations require a lot of water resources and also contaminate the water sources. So the result is a water scarcity that increases food insecurity, triggering this negative loop. But at the end, the good news is that today exist some disruptive technologies that can resolve this negative loop. Next slide, please. Technology plays a primary role in transforming the global agri-food model and making it sustainable. Precision agriculture can contribute to solve the crisis of land degradation and water scarcity by using artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, allowing a drastic reduction of dangerous and harmful herbicides, fertilizers, and chemicals. So, for example, smart weed sprayers and agriculture clouds are two successful application of precision agriculture. Next slide, please. Also, robotics and automations can improve labor conditions, reduce fossil fuel use and water usage, allowing to increase the productivity in a sustainable way, more sustainable way, thanks to a better land usage. Consider, for example, drones, autonomous tractors, and picking robots. Next slide, please. Also, innovative growing methods like hydroponics can strongly contribute to tackle all the three aspects of the negative feedback loops. Next, please. So, concerning the importance of technology in agri-food, I hope to have given you an idea about why a proper use of technologies in agri-food is today a key factor to enable a sustainable model. Big data, artificial intelligence, and robotics play a core role in building a technology ecosystem for sustainable agriculture. Now, maybe you can understand the reason for that the European Community launched the agrifoodTEF project and made a large amount of funds available for it. Next, please. So the concept of TEFT, that means testing and experimentation facilities in agri-food, aims to accelerate the implementation of artificial intelligence and robotics, facilitating and boosting innovation inside the technologies company through testing and validation facilities and services. And now I leave the floor to Stina, that will bring you deeper in the TEF concept. Thank you.
Thank you, Raffaele. So I'm Stina Jonsson. I come from RISE, Research Institutes of Sweden, and I co-lead the agrifoodTEF node in Sweden. I also co-lead the mighty EDIH project in the mid-north Sweden, but today I will wear my TEF hat. Next picture, please. So, as Raffaele mentioned, a few years ago, the EU Commission identified the need of testing and experimental facilities. So they set a 220 million euro budget to build those. Half of the money comes from the EU and half is national funding. But the aim is to create large-scale networks of infrastructure in real environment, both physical and digital, for the test and validation of technologies or products and services, especially in innovative areas such as AI, artificial intelligence, or robotics, in our case. There are actually 4 TEFs within the Digital Europe program. It's TEF Health, who test AI solutions in the health sector. It's agrifoodTEF that we will talk about more about today, of course. It's AI Matters. They work with AI in manufacturing. And the fourth one is Sitcom AI. It's AI solutions in cities and communities. I think that's a really funny name. So we all cover a large portion of AI testing for companies in Europe. And for the agrifoodTEF, we're also include robotics. All the TEFs and the EDIHs are parts of the Digital Europe program. So we can say that we are siblings, all of us. So for companies with an AI or a robotic solution aimed for the agri-food sector, we're about 36 entities in 10 different countries here to help. This is the largest agri-food project in Europe at the moment. And from north to south, we're located in Sweden, Denmark, Poland, Germany, who is an associated partner, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, Austria, Spain, and Italy, who host the lead part organization of the project, Fondazione Bruno Kessler. Each node has their speciality, like maybe livestock production, greenhousing, or a specific climate. But European companies can use any TEF in the whole consortium. Next slide, please. So these are the logos of the partners in the project, and you can probably identify some logos from your own network in this picture. Next slide, please. So with this large and skilled group of partners, our goal is to help companies with an AI or robotic solution to come faster to the market in the agriculture and food sector. Of course, the solutions need to be sustainable and enable a more efficient production of food. And we will also work as a bridge between the latest research and real products or solutions. We strongly believe that innovative, technology-driven solutions will help to a more efficient and sustainable and resilient European agri-food sector. Next picture, please. More specifically, our mission is to work with companies who need to test their AI or robotic product or service in real-life environment. That means kind of after the lab phase, you can take the solution to the TEF and to get closer to the market or be ready for market introduction faster. If we talk about the TRL, technology readiness level scale, we're at TRL 6 through 8. But since each company is unique, we adapt the services to real needs, and the customers can choose any service from all service providers in the TEF. There's, as I said before, no need to stick only to your home country. And the different sectors we work in are arable farming, food processing, greenhouse, horticulture, livestock farming, tree crops, and viticulture. Next slide, please. The agrifoodTEF is not only a project, but can be seen as an ecosystem of stakeholders within the agri-food business. Policies, compliance, regulations, test facilities, and other resources are available in what we here call the agri-food consortium. That would be the left part of this illustration. When a company, usually an SME, to the right part in the picture, need testing or experiments from the TEF, we reach out to our ecosystem where there are competences, know-how, digital and physical infrastructures available. And together, we provide the best testing for the individual SME. And the companies gets, for example, a validated product, or it could be a report or something else, and the consortium get feedback and learn to be even better providers in the future. Next picture, please. As a project, we like to paint this picture with a service list in the center. And That is the main goal, to provide services to SMEs. The services can use a physical infrastructure, that would be the blue piece of the cake. For example, a field with crops to test an autonomous robotic weeder. But it could also be a digital infrastructure, which would be the green cake piece. For example, testing your algorithm to a database provided by TEF, or the yellow piece of the cake, conformity testing, which would, for example, be legal compliance, LCA, or cybersecurity. There are also work packaged to build the processes and to support the customer journey. That would be back office and front office, and project management in the bottom of the picture. As you understand, it's quite a challenge to build this. And Raffaele Giafreda from Fondazione Bruno Kessler is our coordinator, and he is the happy guy in the upper right corner. In the presentation already sent out, there's a link to our website and the service list as shown in the lower part of this picture. And the presentation is in the DTA pages, and one of my colleagues is also adding it to the chat now. Thank you. So next picture. Thank you. As I already mentioned, the agrifoodTEF is a network of competences, and there are also other stakeholders who support the system. Farmers, the end users, for example, they can give very valuable feedback. There are many associations working towards the sector in different countries. They're an important contact into the ecosystem, and vice versa. The TEF can give valuable information of what's happening in the innovation end of the system. There are policymakers. They can use the information from agrifoodTEF, for example, to steer CAP, Common Agriculture Policy, that's financial support to the farmers. And finally, you guys, all the EDIHs in Europe. Those of you who are working very close to the agri-food sector can probably already see who of your customers also would need TEF help, and you can assist them to the next step in their evolution journey. But there are EDIHs who have other focuses, like my own, for example, or it could be focus on drones or cybersecurity. But I think that you also have customers with solutions suitable for the agri-food market, even if they're not active there at the moment. So hold that thought and reflect on whom you would like to introduce to the agri-food market when my colleague Marie from Austria will tell you more about the services. Thank you.
Thank you, Stina. Hello, dear listeners. I would now like to continue with a closer look at the services offered by the agrifoodTEF project. My name is Marie Wenzlaff. I'm working at Josephinum Research. It's a research institute with a strong focus on applied research in agriculture technologies and digitization in agriculture, located in Lower Austria. And we at Josephinum Research are lead partner of the Austrian consortium of this project. Well, and about the agrifoodTEF services, please, the next slide. agrifoodTEF provides services for the testing and validation of robotic and AI solutions. So far, so good. We can provide our services with the funding of the agrifoodTEF project to companies from all European countries, and Stina already explained this in detail. Currently, we have more than 300 services in the service catalog. This large number of services primarily should demonstrate our ability to respond to specific needs with customized services. And that's the point. All services can be customized, and we have the possibility of constantly designing new services according to the needs of our potential customers. The next slide shows that depending on the expertise of the partners in the consortium, our services focus on the following sectors, but of course are not limited to those. And Stina also already explained them, and I will move on to the next slide and here we have the link to the online version of the service catalog for you, and maybe we can also put it in the chat. This would be a nice idea. Please, some of my colleagues, please, can you do this? And of course, all of our services will be available for everyone to see on our project website. We are currently in the process of updating and uploading them. So not all services are there yet, but we will have all of them online very soon. If you would like to take a closer look at our service offering, you can search the catalog using, please go back to the slide before, thank you. Yeah, if you want to have a closer look, you can search the catalog using some filter options to get a short list of services that might be of particular interest to you. So the filter options the online version provides, you see here displayed, and that's firstly the sectors we have already pointed out. So which sector are you interested in? It's the upper bar with the small icons. And next you can select what kind of testing service or what service in general do you need. What kind of product are you bringing, or in other words, what kind of solution do you want to be tested? Is it a physical system, a prototype kind of, or is it just an algorithm, a software, or do you bring nothing at all and still want to look for services that we can offer? And lastly, do you have any specific requirements where the service should be delivered? And here basically the options are the locations of the TEF consortiums, the national consortium. Okay, you may find the online catalog useful if you want to get an initial idea of what support we can offer, but however, you can also get in touch with us right away so that we can work together to identify your needs, and especially US EDIHs that might work together with SMEs. And so we can find out together how we can help as part of the agrifoodTEF project. On the next two slides, I have some examples of TEF services that you can already find on our website. So our services include very general services where we can set individual focus according to the customer needs. For example, the validation of robotic systems and algorithms. Most of the partners are offering the provision of data sets according to customer specifications. The third service displayed here is an example of how services are targeted towards specific technologies, like the smart irrigation in that case. Also, some partners have, like we have already indicated before, a strong focus on a specific agriculture sector. Therefore, we have specialized services for solutions targeting, for example, here, the viticulture sector, like this last one, provision and expertise for robotics development and testing in vineyards. Also on the next slide, we have another set of services. This kind of services, the data valorization and data space integration assessment, as well as the assessment and evaluation of applied natural language processing, should illustrate our competencies in the field of digital testing. Also, as illustrated on the second position here, we have highly specialized services in the portfolio, for example, the evaluation of AI-based optimal pesticide dosage in tree crops. So you can conclude from this diversity of services, we, the TEF partners, design our services in close cooperation with our customers, and this is the most important part, we are constantly revising and expanding our set of services. This means that if we have a new client with specific needs that we can address as part of the TEF project, we have two options. Either we already have a service in our portfolio that meets the client's needs, or we develop a new service. And in this way, we can provide a growing number of SMEs and startups with access to the funding that is available throughout the duration of this big project for the development and execution of these services. I will conclude my part about the agrifoodTEF services with the next slide and some examples of use cases carried out so far. Our project partners in Italy have been working with a company that developed a solution for apple counting and yield estimation of tree crops, and conducted a so-called AI hardware performance assessment. Other partners in Spain carried out a performance evaluation of a solution for weed spraying with machine vision. A bundle of services, meaning multiple services like the dataset annotation, merging, and consolidation, were offered by our Polish partners to improve the customer's company's algorithm to identify macro elements in the soil. So, strong focus on digital services. Yet another use case of our Spanish colleagues was the measurement, validation, and the user experience testing of an AI automated microscope with the company Microfy AI. And lastly, in Austria, we have been testing an autonomous weeding robot, for example, the Farming GT of Farming Revolutions, a German company, and we have tested the agricultural performance of the system under real-world conditions. All these use cases are conducted with different customer companies from all of Europe and different partners out of the huge consortium of this project. So you can imagine the diversity of use cases and the potential of the whole project with the engagement of more than 30 partners from all across Europe. And with this, I give the floor to our next speaker. Liam, please.
Hi, everyone. Good day. My name is Liam. I work at ILVO, a research institute in Flanders for agriculture, food, and fisheries. And we represent the Belgian node for agrifoodTEF here. I will present some information on our customer journey, which was developed during the first year of the project to ensure a smooth customer interaction, a smooth experience for the customers, and avoid a clutter of an abundance of administration and administrative procedures. Yes, the next slide. The customer journey consists of roughly 3 to 4 phases. The first one is qualification, which is getting in contact, meeting each other, following up on a lead of a customer. Then the second phase here in the picture is the first administrative phase, where the service is planned, the service is written down, the TEF requirements are validated. The third part is the service delivery, which is very customized to whichever partner you're involved with. And then finally, the feedback, which allows us to improve our service delivery. Yes, all of this gives this picture of the defined steps that we go through, where the darker squares represent the documents that are made by Europe, so are quite homogeneous across all partners. The lighter squares represent steps throughout the customer journey that are more dependent on which partner you're involved with or which service the customer has ordered. So the first step is who are our customers? Our customers are primarily product developers. They develop assets or technology that consists of AI, robotics, and/or data components. We strive towards 75% of our customers being SMEs or startups. The main reason, therefore, is that those companies often have the most needs for testing and validation solutions, such as agrifoodTEF, because they often don't have access to large R&D facilities. One of the entry points that you can start with agrifoodTEF is, like Marie just explained, is the catalog of services, where each service is linked to a partner. Yes. So when we start the administration, it starts with a service request form. This is a short and thorough document, only one A4 page long, where we describe which company are we involved with, what asset or what technology is the company bringing to the table, and which tests are we going to perform from agrifoodTEF. This document is then forwarded to our onboarding committee, who check the eligibility, whether the company suits or fits within the agrifoodTEF requirements. If we have a green light, the service is a go and can go on, and the company or the customer is eligible for agrifoodTEF funding. Yes. Then, depending on the partner, there's a feasibility check is done. Of course, it's always done, but it is assessed, does the partner have a sufficient amount of resources? If not, which one are needed? What will be the final price of the service? At least an invoice, a quotation. All of this is contractually defined in a service agreement between the offering partner or partners and the customer or customers. It is possible in this service agreement to customize the service, describe in detail what will be done and what is necessary and what is expected. Then next, after the service agreement has been signed by both partners, they can continue with executing the service, with performing the substantive work, the technical work of a service. This consists of planning, timing, depending on the season, and the work itself. But this is, again, very dependent on the partner who you are involved with or the service that was requested. And then finally, after the service has been finished, or at least the technical work, a final meeting is set up by the contact person of the offering partner. And that's an opportunity to go through the service delivery reports, to go in detail what was done, what was tested, and what the results were. And this also gives us the opportunity to gain customer feedback in this final place. It's also possible to get this through mail, of course, but this customer feedback allows us to improve the quality of our services, to monitor the general quality of how agrifoodTEF is doing from a customer perspective. And we have an internal tool for this to constantly monitor the output of these feedback forms. That way we can continue becoming better. Now, finally, I'm gonna give the word to Alea, who will go more in depth on how customers can get engaged with us outside from only the service catalog.
Yes, thank you. As he said, my name is Alea Scoville, and I'm representing DTI, a Technological Institute, who is the sole partner of the Danish node. The partners in the agrifoodTEF project would like to collaborate with the various EDIHs in order to support agri-tech companies that are developing AI and robotic technologies. So what are the various different engagement opportunities? Next slide, please. You can see this QR code, or you can use this QR code on the right to access the agrifoodTEF website. The link is also in the chat. Then once you're on the website, you can access the Contact Us page, and then contact the node leader in your country or the country you would like to collaborate in. From there, the node leader can give you the contact information for any of the specific partners or anybody who best matches your needs. We would like to collaborate with other EU projects and initiatives. So if you have a project that could benefit or collaborate with agrifoodTEF, please contact us. While you're visiting the website, you can also visit our service catalog. And as Marie went through, you can find a wide variety of services to test and validate the AI and robotic technologies in the agricultural industry. And then currently the requirements for the agrifoodTEF participants is that you have to be eligible for the state aid or the de minimis program in order to be able to receive a discount. If you want to know more information, please contact. Next slide, please. This slide shows an overview of the EDIH and TEF ecosystem. The EDIH supports SMEs, startups, companies, and has a wide variety of services. This could be scouting, training, improving businesses, production processes, etc. TIFs can help complete this product development cycle by offering test and validation services. And this then allows the SMEs potentially to have earnings and growth, where again, the SME can wish to receive some kind of additional business support from the EDIHs. Yes, next slide, please. Here's the information for our nodes and contact us website. Yeah, visit our website to also find more information about upcoming webinars. We are also on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, Zenando, Instagram, and Facebook have various different sites and contact points. So if you're wishing to follow the project, please join us on one of the platforms.
Yes, thank you, Alea. I'm back again. And thank you all for this educative and useful insights. We hope that our listeners currently present, but also the ones who will listen in the future, are enlightened more about what a testing experimentation facility is, what we do as TEF, and what kind of services we offer. It's clear that agri-food has, of course, an immense potential to boost AI and robotics innovation in agri-food sector, which requires close collaboration with EDIHs as well. Therefore, this webinar. I can imagine that this training webinar also raised some questions. And if you are interested and want to know more, please visit our website, the catalog as mentioned, social media channels, and contact our notes if you are interested in collaboration. Meantime, I see several questions already posted. The one is from, if I pronounce your name, from Hafsa. Can the companies that are in contact with EDIHs benefit from the services of agrifoodTEF? If yes, do they have to pay? I guess I should. Well, do we have volunteers to answer this question? Because yes, Tina, please.
Yes.
Okay, I'll start and you can fill in, Rafael. The companies can usually get a heavy discount using their de minimis account, meaning that they don't have to pay with real money as long as this is a project. It depends a little on what node, the service provider, and so, but the EU supports this, and the countries in the TEF are also supporting the project. So there is a big hope that you don't have to pay. Raffaele, do you want to add something?
Yes, for sure. For example, in my experience here in Data Life, we received some contacts from companies that were interested in test and validate some artificial intelligence solution in agri-food, and we redirect the companies to agrifoodTEF. And the services are available for the companies, and so I think this kind of flow of contacts is one of the added value that the EDIH can find in agrifoodTEF. So it's possible actual to redirect companies from EDIH to agrifoodTEF. Sure.
Great. I hope the question is answered. And if you need more clarity, please contact email us. I heard from our technical support that there is somebody raised a hand, Dimitri from Cyprus. Maybe you can post either the question in the Q&A or open your microphone. Rita, can you please help me here?
Actually, I have allowed Dimitris to speak. So Dimitri, now, if you would like also to raise your question to everyone, you can unmute yourself. I have given you the rights. So feel free to ask us any question. We still have time to do so. And then we have also another question actually from Leroy, who is asking if there will be any recording for this training available.
Yeah, as I mentioned already in the beginning, this webinar is being recorded and will be posted in our YouTube channel. So please go our channel, subscribe and follow it, and then you will see that as well. And we will post it also on the website. But I guess the YouTube channel is the easiest one to find the recording.
So Gora, I would like just to add another information that the presentations, all the materials related to this training will be uploaded also in the DTA training platform. So for that are already registered in this platform, all the course is accessible. So you will find all the material there also.
Yes. So everything will be public at this moment. I have one more question here, popping up. Okay, that was just a comment. Okay,
Dimitris was going to ask a question, I think.
Yeah, come on. I don't hear that. Dimitris, can you unmute yourself and speak? Or maybe otherwise just type the question in the chat or the Q&A. Yes?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I think either I raised the hand accidentally, or I mean, it was a software issue. The presentations were very interesting. I just want to ask, in a way, you are EDIHs covering all Europe and offering specific services, because this is the way that we work. Also, we have a customer journey, but for example, for Cyprus, we are one EDIH covering all the sectors and providing all the technologies. So, of course, one EDIH cannot be an expert in everything. It's impossible. So, from our view, it's very interesting that we found something that is very specific and expertise in agriculture and agri-food. So if we have customers that are interested in the services that you provide, and especially that we have the test beds that, of course, we cannot develop as EDIHs in Cyprus, we can send someone to be serviced from your side. So I was very glad to see that this project or this service in total as TEF exists. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Any response from our speakers? Liam, please.
Well, I don't have a straight up response, but I know, yes, First of all, yes, that's why these trainings are, of course, to support the EDIHs with the train the trainer principle. That's what that's the main goal of these sessions. Also, I know specifically on agri-food, you probably know more about it, that there is a thematic working group within the EDIHs as well, to work on agri-food problems if these problems arise. Yes.
Great. So another question received is then how are we foresee the cooperation with EDIHs and agrifoodTEF, and how do we plan to organize any other training? So we plan the trainings in the future. So there will be more trainings coming up, and the next training we'll speak about. Let me check very quickly. Our next training will be about the role of the 9 nodes and that we have, explaining their capabilities, services, and contacts. And if you want to be updated and know the date, yes, as rightly Marie mentioned in the chat, we have newsletter. You can also sign in our newsletter, in which we will announce the date of the next upcoming webinar training course. Let me quickly check. Yes, there is a Q&A. You can organize a training focused on explaining TEF services. Yes, we do. Today, Marie explained a few, and in the future, we are going to dive into details. But if you have a specific service that you are interested, please contact us, and we might consider it in our program. Are you also open to the extension of facilities for testing and validation for some specific or niche areas or geographies? I think this question is, who would you like to answer this question? Maybe Stina or Marie?
Okay, I can say a couple of words, but I guess this is a question that's better directed to the project coordinator, actually. And we also shared in the slides the name and the contact address of him. So if you're interested of getting involved with TEF as a partner yourself or establishing a new node, please check the options of that directly with our coordinator, Rafael Schiafreda. But sure, we will share the contact details again in the chat.
Yeah. Just a small addition, thank you, Marie, is that at this moment we are focusing on 9 countries, right? With one associated partner, Germany, so total 10 countries. And in the future, it's European agri-food project, so we will focus on Europe. But depending on how the business model will evolve, we might also go into other continents or collaboration with other parties. But at this moment, when the project is still ongoing and is being heavily financed by the European Union, we will focus on Europe only. Okay. Let me go to another question. Thank you very much. It's very interesting. Thank you for comments. I'm curious about the duration of agri-food. Does it have a specific duration? If not, how is it sustainable? So in terms of the period terms of agri-food as project, European project, we started 2 years ago, and we have still 3 years to go. So 2027 it will be the last year. And in terms of sustainability, you are just shooting in the weakest spot because we are currently working on sustainability. How can we make sustainable so that not the same innovation is being found and implemented in different places at the same time, but it has been done in collaboration because it's the same, one Europe united. So this is our goal, to have a sustainable business model in which we believe also the EDIHs have some role. But I can't clearly explain what is the sustainability plan, because we are still working on it. We still have 3 years to go. The goal is, of course, to have a joint European agri-foodTEF, and maybe we will collaborate also data spaces, Central European data spaces as well. Yes, so do we have more questions? I'm looking very quickly. I'm, by the way, very happy the number of questions that we receive. No, I don't have a new question.
I see a question as well in somewhere. Whether we can organize a training focused on explaining TEF services. I think this is one of the upcoming trainings will be about that. Also about presenting the different nodes, and what we are specialized in, what our approach specifically in TEF is. I also hope in the future we before we started our contact with the EDIHs, we started from a survey exploring which topics were interesting. So I hope in the future as well we will keep on expanding these training sessions, so we can in the future also explore sessions on, for example, cybersecurity or AI in agriculture from a technology development perspective. Yes.
Thanks, Julian. Now I have another question from Christos. If an SME arrives to an EDIH, then it is redirected to agrifoodTEF. Finally, they test their application successfully. How many times has this SME to pay depending on those services received from the EDIHs from agrifoodTEF? Very complicated. So the question is, how do we share the cake that we receive from the customer? Tina?
Yeah, I don't think there is a clear answer that would fit every case, but as I mentioned, we're siblings. We can't work towards each other. We work for the SMEs. That's our goal. So we just, for each case, this is my belief, for each case we need to see what is the EDIH best suited to help the SME with, and what is the TEF best suited. So let's just have the SMEs needs and the European resilience in focus. I think we'll fix it. Sorry, that wasn't very crisp, but philosophical.
Maybe have you ever had already collaboration with EDIHs beforehand?
Did you ask me?
Yeah.
No, actually, in our country, Sweden, the agri EDIH is not up running properly yet, but we try to work between EDIHs in Sweden, sharing customers and knowledge and so I think we can do that with TEFs as well.
Yeah,
and also don't forget the other TEFs who could be of great use for your SMEs.
exactly.
I can also add a perspective of Austria. In Austria, we have a dedicated EDIH targeting the agriculture sector. And what I can say about our collaboration so far is that it's actually not a problem who gets which slice of the cake, because the slices are quite clear, and there's hardly any overlap, because with the testing and experimentation services that we are offering with the TEF project, the EDIHs or our EDIH don't have the opportunity to provide a similar service, because the TRL level of the solution, it's either higher for the test before invest or either lower for booth camp activities, something like this. So we actually don't have struggles with sharing the cake, I would say. That's the case in Austria.
So basically we have different segments of the market, also different parts of the TRL that we cover. So in that case, we are complementary and not really and not competing with EDIHs. Therefore, this collaboration is very important.
Yes, and that's actually the main message here, that we can even boost our own performance of the projects or initiatives by collaborating in providing the customer more comprehensive set of services.
Yes, thank you, Marie.
I would like just to add few words to Marie. I completely agree with what Marie said, and it's the IDIH and TEFs are parts of the same journey in different steps. So for the IDIH, it's very important to know that there are some facilities where the companies can test and validate their products and services. And from the perspective of the IDIH, what we can do is we have role after, before and after this part of the cycle. So thinking about the mentoring services after the validation of the product or a service by the TEF, the IDIH can support the company to develop its business model and to go to the market. So the services or the two entity are completely complementary.
Stina, you have a...
Yeah, thank you. I just thought we should remind ourselves also that we can take use of the EEN, Enterprise Europe Network, when we want to help the SMEs to go to new markets or find some help in another country than where we're located. So they will also be of good help in this.
Yeah, okay. Great. Another question is a little bit worrying question as well. I am just worried that an SME startup will be discharged to, I don't know, maybe typo, to use the services if the cost is aggregated and high. Basically, the question is if they use an EDIH service and the TEF services, the worry is it will be doubled.
I would say yes, this is a completely understandable and fair concern, and we have to face this challenge, and we have to come up with a proper solution or develop different settings how we would say we can reach sustainability, but not scaring away customers, because you all know startups and SMEs have limited financial means to actually get access to those. But it's the question of balancing the needs, and but it's one of the main concerns of TEF to get sustainable. And yeah, here we are. It's a challenge.
Yes. On the one hand, it is a challenge, but on the other hand, I think because of the differences of the services, what EDIH and what agrifoodTEF is providing, they are complementary once again. So if there is a need or urgency to test a certain solution, but while EDIH doesn't have, for instance, data science expertise, then TEF is somewhere that they can go. And I realized as well that the EDIHs in different countries provide different services, which sometimes might overlap with TEF services. Well, in that case, the customer can choose, but in most of the time, these are just meeting different needs of the customer. So therefore, I would not worry about the aggregated costs because those are different type of services that we provide. And yes, the other question is, can we organize a training webinar where also EDIHs expert can present what they are doing? I would say yes, that's a good, very good suggestion. Even more, we can ask maybe EDIH experts to explain how they see agri-food-TEF helping them, what they expect from us, what would they want to us to do for them. Okay. Great. Now I am quickly checking we don't have Q&A open. Also note in the chat, and it's already 12 o'clock. And with that, I guess if you have panelists, no other comments or additions or something urgent that you want to add, we actually come to the end of the webinar. Then on behalf of agrifoodTEF and our esteemed speakers, I'd like to thank you for joining us, for contributing, for very interesting and challenging questions that you have posted. And as I said, this is just the beginning of series of training webinars. In the future sessions, we'll also present the organization and the role of the 9 nodes. Maybe we can also dive into the services and invite some EDIH representatives to talk to us. So we look forward to having you with us in the future sessions. Until then, I want to thank everybody once again and wishing you all a great day and a fantastic weekend.